Good evening. It is Wednesday, June 21st, 2023, and welcome to the Town of Carmel Town Board. This is a voting meeting followed by a work session. We have 18 items on our 18 resolutions on our voting meeting, and there are 3 resolutions in the work session following. I call this meeting to order, and I ask our Deputy Clerk, Alice Daly, to please do a roll call attendance.
Councilman Baranowski. Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Here.
Councilman Channel. Here. Supervisor Kazari.
Here. If we would all please rise and face the flag. Councilman Lombardi will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just ask they remain standing for a moment of silence and to remember those men and women who are serving in our armed forces around the world to provide us with the blanket of freedom that we live under each and every night. Thank you.
Thank you. So to start off, if there's anyone here in the audience that would like to get up and comment? No? Seeing as there's no takers, we'll go on to our first thing. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from the May 17th and June 7th, 2023 meeting?
So moved.
Second. Second by Channel and McDonough, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the minutes from those 2 meetings are accepted. First resolution is authorizing a settlement of stipulation. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that for us?
Whereas there is currently pending in Supreme Court, County of Putnam, State of New York, under index numbers 501142 of 2021 and 500824 of 2022, a certain lawsuit entitled Lake Mahopac Condos and Lake Mahopac Unit Realty versus the Town of Carmel and its Assessor and Board of Assessment Review. Whereas such litigation was commenced in regard to the assessment of certain real property designated tax map 76.30-1-15.101 through 146 and tax map 76.30-1-8 and 16 located within the Town of Carmel on the 2021 and 2022 tax rolls. And whereas a proposed settlement of litigation has been negotiated by Glenn Drosy, Town Assessor, and Certiorari Counsel Greg Fulchetti, who have recommended approval of the proposed settlements, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the settlements of the aforementioned litigation and any other open litigation concerning the assessment of the aforesaid real property as recommended, and be it further resolved, the Town Council, Certiorari Counsel Greg Fulchetti is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the Town of Carmel the stipulation of settlement and corresponding consent judgment reflecting the terms of settlement. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Channel.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, Resolution 1 passed. Our second resolution is again another authorizing a settlement of stipulation. Councilman Channel, could you read that one?
Whereas there is currently pending in the Supreme Court, County of Putnam, State of New York, under index number 500796/2022, a certain lawsuit entitled 1875 Route 6 LLC versus the Town of Carmel and its Assessor and Board of Assessment Review. Whereas such litigation was commenced in regard to the assessment of certain real property designated as tax map number 55-10-1-13 located within the Town of Carmel on the 2022 tax rolls. And whereas a proposed settlement of the litigation has been negotiated by Glenn Drosy, Town Assessor, and Certiorari Counsel John B. Cherico and Associates, who have recommended approval of the proposed settlement. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the settlement of the aforementioned litigation and any other open litigation concerning the assessment of the aforesaid real property as recommended. And be it further resolved that Certiorari Counsel John B. Cherico and Associates is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the Town of Carmel the stipulation of settlement and corresponding consent judgment reflecting the terms of the settlement. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call again?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution number 2 passed. Our third resolution is authorizing request for proposals pursuant to Property Maintenance Law, Chapter 114-15 of the Town Code of the Town of Carmel. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, in accordance with Chapter 114 of the Town of Carmel Town Code titled Property Maintenance, hereby authorizes Town of Carmel Director of Codes Enforcement, Michael Carnazza, to solicit/request proposals for the cleanup and correction of town code violations existing for the properties located at 11 Meadow Drive and 28 Duke Drive, Carmel, New York. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Lombardi and McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 3 passed. Our fourth resolution is awarding bid for property cleanup, property maintenance law, section 114 of the Town of Carmel Town Code. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, in accordance with Chapters 114 of the Town of Carmel Town Code titled Property Maintenance, and upon the recommendation of Building and Codes Enforcer Michael Carnazza in his memo dated May 30th, 2023, hereby accepts the proposal of Sean's Lawns and Landscape Corp. dated May 8th, 2023, for the cleanup and correction of town code violations existing for the property located at 1 Fowler Avenue, Carmel, New York, tax map number 44.17-1-45, at a cost not to exceed $4,500. And be further resolved, the Town Comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget transfers or modifications required to fund the cost of this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilman Baranowski. Can we get a roll call?
Sure. Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes. Do you want to say anything about that?
I'm just glad that this has come to a closure. It's been a long time coming. This has been a very dilapidated property for some time. Had soil that was contaminated. There was a spill code there, and so close to 2 reservoirs. It was just really was a black eye for the hamlet. I'm glad that it's finally getting cleaned up. I also want to thank the highway department. They were out there just curbside, green leaves, weeds and whatnot, just cleaning that all up. They did a nice job on the outside, so now just waiting for all the remnants of whatever's left there, building materials and pumps and whatnot to be taken away, and it's going to make it look very nice.
Yeah, good work.
Good, thanks.
So resolution number 4 passed. Our fifth resolution is authorizing the refund of a permit fee. Councilman Baranowski, could you read that one for us?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Director of Codes Enforcement Michael Carnazza, hereby authorizes refund of the permit fee in the amount of $417 for a one-family dwelling, tax map number 87.9-1-17. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution number 5 passed. Our sixth resolution is another one authorizing the refund of a permit fee. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that?
Sure. Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Director of Code Enforcement Michael Carnazza, hereby authorizes refund of the permit fee in the amount of $432 for a one-family dwelling, tax map number 44.2-12. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, number 6 passed. Our seventh resolution is declaring certain equipment obsolete and authorizing its disposal. Councilman Shallow?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Carmel Highway Superintendent Michael Simone, in his memo dated June 5th, 2023, hereby declares trailer number 2, a 2007 Eager Beaver, to be obsolete and authorizes disposal in accordance with town law, including but not limited to Town Law, Section 64, Subdivision 2A. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we get a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Shano?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, number 7 passed. Our 8th resolution is authorizing the budget revisions 2023-03. Whereas Town Comptroller Mary Ann Maxwell has reviewed the proposed budget revisions for the period ending May 31st, 2023, with the Town Board, which are detailed and explained on the attached budget revision schedule 2023-03, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes and ratifies the budget modifications/revisions for the period ending May 31st, 2023, as shown itemized on Schedule 2023-03, which is attached hereto, incorporated herein, and made a part thereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Lombardi and McDonough, and a roll call, please.
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Shano?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, Resolution 8 passed. Our 9th resolution is establishing standby workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that one?
Yes. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby establishes the following as standard workdays for town council members, town justice, town attorney, planning board members, zoning board members, environmental conservation board members, dog control officer, and will report the employees to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the timekeeping system records or their record of activities maintained and submitted by these employees to Town Clerk Ann Spotsford as submitted on the attached standard workday and reporting resolution for employees and standard workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials. Forms RS-2418, RS-2417-A, and RS-2417-B from the New York State and local retirement system. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Seconded by Baranowski and Shano, and can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Shano?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, number 9 passed. Resolution 10 is waiving the notice requirement in Section 64 of the New York State Alcohol Beverage Control Law with respect to a liquor license for Blackfoot LLC doing business as Old Time New York. Councilman Baranowski, could you read that one?
Sure. Whereas the representatives and/or proprietors of Old Time New York, 1895 Route 6, Carmel, New York, have advised of the intention to apply for an on-premises liquor license for which 30 days advance notice of such application must be sent to the municipality. And whereas the notice required by Article 5 of the ABC law may be waived by the town board, and whereas the Town of Carmel Town Board does not intend to comment upon the application referred to herein, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby waives the 30-day notice requirement contained in Article 5 of the Alcoholic and Beverage Control Law, and states that it does not intend to offer any comments regarding said application for a liquor license at the premises referred to herein. And be it further resolved that Town Clerk Ann Spotsford is hereby authorized to sign a waiver of said notice on behalf of the Town of Carmel. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 10 passed. Number 11 is authorizing petition to fix water rates for the fiscal years 2015, 2016, and 2017. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that one?
Whereas the Town of Carmel, on behalf of Carmel Water District Number 2, has been granted party status as a petitioner in certain proceedings pending before the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation under OHMS case number 201-671-203. Now therefore be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Water District Number 2, and for purposes of 6 NYCRR Section 603.3, 6 NYCRR Section 603.4, and 6 NYCRR Section 603.6, hereby authorizes the petition to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation in the aforesaid proceedings to review and/or fix water rates charged to Carmel Water District Number 2 for the fiscal years 2015, 16, and 17 by the New York City Water Board pursuant to Section 24-360 of the Administrative Code of the City of New York, Article 15 of the Environmental Conservation Law of the State of New York. And be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor Michael Kazari is hereby authorized to execute all documentation and take all actions necessary to effectuate this authorization. I offer this resolution.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Shano. Roll call, please.
Councilman
Yes.
Baranowski. Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, number 11 passed. Don Quixote. Resolution number 12 is accepting proposal and entry into agreement for collection of refuse, garbage, and recycling materials. Councilman Shano, could you read that?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the entry into agreement with AAA Carting and Rubbish Removal Incorporated, Cortlandt Manor, New York, for the collection of refuse, garbage, and recycling material at various town and town sewer and water district facilities for a period commencing retroactive to April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024, and at an aggregate price not to exceed $20,034.74. And be it further resolved that the Town Supervisor, Michael Kazari, is hereby authorized to sign all necessary documents to accept said proposal. And be it further resolved that the Town Comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized and directed to allocate the cost of said agreement over the respective water and sewer districts being serviced thereunder. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Baranowski.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi. Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari.
Yes, resolution 11 passed. Number 13 is rescinding the water emergency pursuant to section 151-22 of the Town Code. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the Water District of the Town of Carmel, and pursuant to section 151-22 of the Code of the Town of Carmel, had previously determined that a water emergency existed within the Town of Carmel, and whereas pursuant to resolution of the Town Board duly enacted on April 5th, 2023, the Town Board declared such water emergency and promulgated restrictions on the use of water for non-essential purposes, and whereas upon the advice of and consultation with the operators of the respective water districts within the Town of Carmel, it is apparent that rescission of such water emergency declaration of certain water districts within the Town of Carmel is now appropriate. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to section 151-22A of the Town Code of the Town of Carmel, the Town Board, acting as Commissioner of the Water District of the Town of Carmel, hereby rescinds the aforesaid declaration of water emergency with respect to Carmel Water Districts 1, 8, 10, and 13, and be it further resolved that the Town Clerk is directed to publish this resolution in the official newspapers of the town and to post said resolution on the official bulletin board of the Town of Carmel. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the engineering department was shorthanded during this water emergency, but I have to say that the water usage was not curtailed. People didn't follow the restriction. And, if engineering wasn't short-staffed, I believe there would have been violations to people. I ask that next time there's a water restriction, that people please adhere to that and don't water your lawns and do unnecessary things. It really caused a problem. So number 13 passed. Number 14, making appointment to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that?
Yes. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby reappoints Anthony Frederici to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a term effective immediately and expiring June 13th, 2026. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Baranowski and Chanel. I think we need a roll call.
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Chanel?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, number 14 passed. Number 15 is a resolution authorizing entry into contract for information technology services from NACA Technologies LLC. Councilman Baranowski, could you read that?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the entry into agreement for information technology services with NACA Technologies LLC, Central Islip, New York, for a period of 1 year commencing July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024, at an annual cost of $72,900. And be it further resolved that upon review of insurance certificates in form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Michael Kazari is hereby authorized to execute any other and further documentation necessary to effect such contract. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Councilman
Alice?
Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Chanel?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, resolution 15 passed. Number 16 is authorizing the awarding of bids for purchase and supply of chemicals for wastewater treatment plants, Carmel Sewer Districts 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Carmel Water Districts 2, 3, 8, and 12. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that one first?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel had previously authorized advertisements for solicitation of bids for purchase and supplies of chemicals for wastewater treatment plants servicing Carmel Sewer Districts number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the water treatment facilities servicing Carmel Water Districts number 2, 3, 8, and 12. And whereas such bids were received and opened by Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., who has recommended the awarding of the bids as set forth herein. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the aforesaid water and sewer districts, hereby awards the bid for the purchase and supply of chemicals in said districts to Slack Chemical Supply, Paterson, New York, Coin Chemical, Croydon, Pennsylvania, and Surpass Chemical, Albany, New York, the lowest responsible bidders who met specifications at the unit price contained within the bid sheets which are on file in the office of the Town Engineer and the office of the Town Supervisor. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we have a roll call?
Councilman Baranowski?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Chanel?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazari?
Yes, number 16 passed. Number 17, authorized scheduling of public hearing. Councilman Chanel, could you read that?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the scheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, at 7 o'clock p.m., or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a proposed local law amending Chapter 156 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Zoning, and be it further resolved that the Town Clerk, Ann Spotford, is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspapers of the town and the Town Bulletin Board regarding the public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Lombardi and McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 17 passed. That is a resolution to keep the moratorium on the smoke shops going one more time until we update the zoning in the comprehensive master plan and the zoning changes, which will be coming. Number 18 is a resolution in support of the preservation and restoration of the 1760 Thomas Belden House. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby supports the preservation and restoration of the 1760 Thomas Belden House located on Belden Road, Carmel, New York, on the property owned by the City of New York, and be it further resolved that the Town Supervisor, Michael Kazari, is hereby authorized to transmit a copy of this resolution to the New York City Department of Environmental Protection, U.S. Senator Kristen Gillibrand, U.S. Congressman Michael Lawler, New York State Senator Peter Harcum, New York State Assemblyman Matthew Slater, and Putnam County Executive Kevin Byrne immediately. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Channel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you. Comments-wise, the town hall will be closed on July 4th for the Independence holiday. And we have our next town board meeting will be Wednesday, July 5th. On the 4th of July, there will be the annual concert with the Norm Hathaway Big Band, and that is presented by our Recreation and Parks. That will be July 4th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Red Mills Passive Park in Mahopac Falls. So everybody enjoy your Independence Day. Anybody have any?
Yeah, I believe the concert series starts tomorrow night, right, Jimmy?
Oh,
At the
that's right.
Chamber Park? Yep. Oh, all right, when, weather dependent. And then also, the Hudson River Potters will be there at Putnam Arts Council, June 24th and 25th, from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and it's handmade ceramics, pottery, and sculptures. So if you guys can make it up there at Putnam Arts Council, I believe on their website, they actually have some pictures of some of the pottery that's going to be up there for sale. So again, June 24th and 25th, 11 a.m. to 4:30, up at the Putnam Arts Council. That was it for me.
Just one. I just wanted to note for the public that the Carmel Police Department recently effected another arrest for illegal dumping. And I wanted to just remind the public again that this town board is committed to identifying and arresting people who illegally dump in the town of Carmel. And, you know, we, through video and other enhanced technology, we have a really, really good chance nowadays of identifying and arresting people. So, you know, for the bad actors out there, the message is don't do it, because we are going to find you and you're going to be arrested. Thank you.
Well said.
Well said.
All right, so can we get a motion to close the voting?
So moved.
So move second.
Seconded by McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Good
Very
night,
good to see
everyone.
you. So how about a motion to open up the work session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so our work session is open, and our one and only,
Let's get to work.
yeah. So the first item, second item, and the third item is James Gilchrist, our Director of Recreation and Parks. First off, he has a request to approve an Eagle Scout project, build 2 storage cubbies at Sycamore Park, and that is Samuel Grimm from our Mahopac Scout Troop Number 1. Thank you, Mr. Grimm, for coming.
Hi, Samuel.
Yes, Samuel presented this project at our last recreation meeting. These are projects that our office puts together, different ideas that come up from day camp, seniors, improvements in the parks. So this would be a great enhancement down at the beach for the kids that come down, take their shoes off and towel and all, they can put it into the cubbies. And then, right now, they're using platforms, they're putting it on picnic tables or laying it in the sand, so this would be a great improvement. There were a couple different options that were presented to the committee, and we decided to go with the smaller cubbies, have 2 smaller ones instead of a large one, because this is something that we'll be moving in and out, putting into the guard shack when it's not utilized with the camp. And, you know, that'll protect it from the weather and also from the winter. So, Sammy, why don't you talk about your project?
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to go through each page of this packet you've been passed one by one. Okay, so on the second, so as was said, my project is going to be to build and install cubbies at the beach section of Sycamore Park. And the next page, you'll see an overview of the cubbies. This is going to be, the picture you see is one of 2 units that are going to be planned on building. Each unit will have 9 storages for people's things. Each unit will will be 3 feet 9 inches wide and 4.5, and it'll also be 4.5 feet tall. For each individual cubby, it'll be 14 by 14 by 16 inches. And for the next page, you'll see the completed project, which will be 2 units placed together. So that's what it would look like. On the next page, you'd see like they would be able to be separated for easier mobility if you wanted to move them or store them away during the winter time. So they would have to be out 24/7. Next page, you'll see the individual pieces of building one of the units. It will be composed of mainly planks and frames that'll make the unit. On the next page, it'll give you more color-coded analysis of what each individual piece of wood will be used for in building this unit. Next page will show the pieces of wood with the corresponding colors from the previous page to show what will be used for what part of the cubbies in the building process. On the next page will be the estimated expenses for the project. There are 2 primary factors for this. The first one is the supplies needed to build the cubbies, that being plywood, pressure-treated yellow pine, different types of wood, pipe hangers, glue, screws, stain. And the second factor is going to be accommodations for the people who are willing to work on the project, like food and drinks and other assortments. The total we expect to come down to around $770.
Well done, Sam. Thank you.
Very nice.
He's not done.
Oh, he's not done?
He's not done, no.
Oh,
He's not
Next
done.
page
Some of
shows
the rest of the materials.
what we expect, how long we expect the project to take. We expect it to take approximately 3 to 5 days of work, and we hope to do it during this summer we're currently in. And then the conclusion is, yeah, it's already been said, but I'll state it again. We hope to create a place for people to put their things when they're enjoying the beach in Sycamore Park instead of just laying it about and people losing things or having things damaged. I think this is a good project for me to do for my Eagle Scout project.
I think it's great, really good. And the 773.58, Samuel, that's for both of the cubbies, right? That's not just for one?
Yes, that's the
Nine.
estimated price for the whole project.
Okay, perfect, yeah. What a great idea, because it is true, they just go in and just like throw it wherever they can. So there may be some water there. And
Yeah,
you
are
did
you-
such a great presentation. I love like all the color coordination and everything, really super.
Are you going to have a fundraiser?
Yes, we have a few plans for our fundraiser. First one is we're going to be going around to the local businesses and asking for donations and discounts.
Okay.
And hopefully receiving those. Another option we have is at our local church, we can do a bake sale. I find this to be very valid because the people at our church are very, very generous. And if we still are lacking funds after those 2, then we can do some online fundraisers in hopes of raising the remaining amount of money needed.
Okay, great. Jim, would you
Awesome.
keep us in the loop on the fundraising? We always contribute to those projects.
Yeah.
It's great.
Samuel,
Really
great
nice
job.
presentation.
Thank you.
It'd be a
Well
nice
done.
addition,
Is
thank
that-
you.
Is that your dad with you?
Yes, that is my dad.
Is he your carpentry advisor?
Yes.
Great.
He's a well-experienced father there,
Ah,
yeah,
right? Some other projects that we've had.
Yes, he sat in that seat many times.
yes.
I love it.
well done.
Really, really great. Samuel, great. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Planning on doing it this
Frank,
summer.
Frank, no
Yes, hopefully
comments?
this
You were,
summer.
you were. Frank was an
I already
Eagle Scout.
spoke to him before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no, it's a great project, great idea. It's needed, and he will have much success
Yes,
on his road to Eagle.
Thank you, Sam.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
So our next item is consider request to declare old equipment obsolete and authorize the disposal of car number P59. It's a 2009 Ford P35 dump truck.
Yeah, this is the white dump truck that we have in the Parks Department. We had some issues where the town mechanic was trying to work on it. There were electrical issues. They could not solve the problem. We had to tow it over to Mahopac Ford. They were looking at it for a number of days, and the conclusion was the parts that need to be replaced are not available, and it does not make sense to repair it. So you're better off auctioning it off. I know the Highway Department's planning on doing I think Auctions International sometime in the summer. So the plan would be to auction this off and then to either buy a dump trailer that we're looking at, or possibly looking at a used dump truck, after the sale, obviously with the funds that we have.
And
There
we're
was
gonna need
another
another
issue that we
pickup,
had with the bed of the truck was rotten. We were trying to look for a used bed, and they're not out there, so to put a brand-new bed on this truck did not make sense with the other issues that we're having.
So we're going to need another pickup too, or,
No, we have the white pickup over now.
So that's-
And then the orange pickup that we have. Those are both in excellent condition. We use those for plowing. And,
because when Brendan comes back, will you need
yeah,
three
we have
trucks?
we have the green truck that's, at the end of the rope, so.
So when that one's done, we'll get another pickup.
Yeah, we'll look at getting another vehicle, either another dump, or we'll get a dump trailer. Mechanics have been looking online, seeing if there's anything out there. It's hard to find things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is something that we would look at getting a used one. It'd be used for mulch around different parks, moving clay around, large debris. Instead of double handling it, putting it in the back of a pickup truck and then trying to shovel it out, so you can just dump it out. The other option was putting in a dump bed in the back of one of our trucks. So we're looking at some options there.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last thing is request to accept donation for the construction of the lacrosse practice wall at Sycamore Park. It looks like we have a special guest.
It will squeeze you in the middle here. So this is a project that the committee has been discussing for probably about 6 months. We went out to the site, we cleared the area where, we were first proposing putting this practice wall on the lacrosse field at the airport park. And we had some concerns about play area and visually how it's going to look. So when we cleared the area, when you go back at the airport park, past the 2 sheds that are at the far end, there's another area that dips down that was leveled out during the construction. So you're probably about 5, 6 feet below grade there, and it's flat level down there. It's a safe area this is an area where balls are just going to be getting thrown back and forth on both sides of the wall. All you're going to see from the park would be a side shot of the wall, so you'll see, this much of the wall, instead of having a large concrete or a brick wall at the far end of the park. So we have a great group of volunteers that are looking to install this. We have a family that donated, was it $10,000 for this project. So this has been talked about with Mahopac Lacrosse for probably a year or 2, I would think, right?
Both
Yeah.
boys and girls.
So,
Yep.
so who are your guests that I don't know?
So we have, you're Kevin, right?
No, I'm Ryan.
Ryan, I'm sorry,
We
Ryan.
have Ryan Harney, and you guys know me, Dave Fafaro. Just a little history on the park, right? So what happened is the upper fields are primarily used for soccer. That bottom, the last field, right, is become a lacrosse field for MSA. And the very, very bottom field where we're proposing this wall was really an expansion area, right? That was designed initially in the park as future expansion, which we don't really see any real expansion for field use there. We'd still be a long way from any homes because it's really pretty well isolated. And that dropping off the hill is kind of nice because you'll hardly see this wall. It really will not show at all. MSA has volunteered to do most of the work. They'll do it under Vinco Construction, my son's company. So they'll pull the insurance and keep track of anything. If there's any paid labor, we'll pay prevailing rate. But we're hoping to do it all volunteers. I know Mr. Fulchetti doesn't want to hear that. But yeah. So and we're prevailing rate contractors anyway. So if there is anybody that gets paid, they will get paid prevailing rate. Hopefully we can do it all volunteers. Certainly we use our equipment, and maybe the highway can help us a little bit. So it's a good project. I think we still have a few hurdles at the county to get through, but we'd like to get this done to get it out of the way. So when the time comes, we can get going. That's the plan.
I love it. I think it's going to be used so much.
Yeah, it helps that area down. We got the sheds
Yeah.
down there now, so we really cleaned the bottom up nice, so it opens everything up. It just, it'll be a big improvement. It definitely
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah, no,
Not
it's
much
great.
vegetation there or excavation to do?
Say it again?
A lot of excavation to do? pretty flat.
Just one little footing, you know, there's gonna be one little 4-foot footing in the middle, that's it, and the wall goes up, it's a masonry wall. How high is the wall, Ryan?
It's 12 feet.
Yeah, 12 feet.
12 by
We had
20.
some plans done. It kind of mimics Yorktown, I think.
Yeah.
It's put one up relatively recently.
Yorktown has quite a few, actually.
Yeah, and if all goes well, the playing area will be grass, but if we can work it out, maybe we can use some of the turf that we left over from the turf project.
Oh,
We can put a couple
yeah.
rolls down, that would be nice to kind of make it a little bit easier and a little nicer playing surface, so.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say kudos to the lacrosse family, because they just had their alumni cross game this past weekend. It was so great.
Yeah,
It
my
really
son
was.
played, so I heard it was
I saw
outstanding.
him, yeah, and it was even better that nobody got hurt, so, yeah.
It's always better.
Yeah, but, yeah, like I said, I think this is gonna be great and very well
We can do that in
used.
the resolution.
Well, I mean, yeah, just talking amongst ourselves, the family that donated this money was the Maloney family. Sean Maloney was a very good player and a very good volunteer to this program. So, yeah, it's kind of touchy to handle. You know, they don't want, you know, the name, all over the place. So, that's who it's for, but that's not who it's for. It's for all the kids, the
Right.
boys and girls. But it's where a good chunk of the money came from. So, in terms of how to handle that, I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
We can work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about putting possibly a small bronze plaque on the side of it, but this is something we'd have to have in the resolution. So that's something that when we're doing this, that we would have a dedicated
Yeah.
plaque on the side.
Yeah.
We're not sure what's gonna be on it yet. It'll probably just be, dedicating
Maybe
all
his
of it.
number too, that would be kind of neat, in an Indian head.
Plenty appropriate,
Yeah, I think before we do the resolution, just check with the family as to how they want it.
Yeah.
And this way, we'll, there's no issue with
Yeah.
that.
I think it's great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let us
Jim,
know if you need any help with Putnam County as well,
And let me know and we'll meet with them.
okay? Yeah.
With the
I'm-
county,
I'm
let me
sure.
know.
Oh,
and we'll meet
yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
well, we have
county.
some other issues in front of them
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the whole impervious space with the audit that they're doing out there.
Right.
This is not much. It's at the top of the wall, so
It's just like a,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be good. Thanks.
thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jim.
So after this, we've got executive session to do some contractual and personnel issue. And then, like I said before, our next meeting is July 5th. Everybody enjoy a safe 4th of July, please. So, anybody has any comments, and then we'll get a motion to close.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.